Oh my. That sounds
we'll just be like, hey, so
Hey,
today
thanks
we're
for
going to
having
talk
me.
about a pretty
Not
good.
today.
Hey, so we're going to talk about a pretty good.
Not pretty good.
We're going to talk about a topic today that has to do with purpose. Now, I got it. Here we go. What exactly is our purpose on earth as young people? God has called us each to do a specific task. He has called us for a specific purpose. It is time for us to accept that purpose, and it's time for us to accept that challenge. And it's time for us to accept the mission that Christ has given us. It's time for us to proclaim the kingdom of God without any hindrance and with all boldness. God has called you to be bold. Let us be bold for Him. Welcome to the Audax. Hello everyone and welcome to the show Audax. Today we've got a topic that I believe is quite a big topic in the young people realm. It's what is our purpose in life? Why are we here? And all that stuff. As I'm a senior in high school, and I know it's really hard as a senior to see where you're going with life, to see what your plans are, to make the different choices that you have to make. I know that you got to make choices such as college, such as.
I have trouble making choices on what food to get.
Exactly.
At Taco Bell, so.
I struggle with many.
There's lots of choices that.
And
you
that
have
is
to make.
my purpose to make anyways. But it's okay. So what we want is to just figure out what our purpose is. So I've been thinking about it, but like, why are we here? From an evolutional perspective, it's quite weird why we are here.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Not encouraging.
it's not encouraging to me at all to be a slug, but it's not encouraging. But based on what the Bible says and all that stuff, why are we here? Why did God put us here? What is my purpose in life? Why am I here? But I'd like to say that I believe, based on reading the Bible and looking into that, I believe we are here for two specific things. And I believe those two specific things are to serve others and to glorify and serve God, obviously.
Question: when you say like glorify God, how would I, in my personal life on a day-to-day level, glorify God? Because I mean, it makes sense to me that I would glorify God when I go to church and I sing songs to Him. I would probably glorify God when I in my room and I'm praying to Him and I'm reading His Word and I'm thinking about Him. But how about like when I'm hanging out with my friends or I'm doing my homework or I'm just cleaning my room? Like, how would I glorify God just in that aspect of life?
I believe that we are the best way to. She's having the giggles today.
Glorifying God.
Glorify.
You can glorify God in your laughter.
Yeah,
You can.
it's true.
Amen.
A merry heart does it good like a medicine. Ooh,
Does
true.
it good?
That I
Do it
think
good.
that's a Bible quote.
It is.
It is.
Learning your Bible with Elijah. 101.
Okay, guys, let's do this. I'm so sorry. I set the mood for humor.
I believe that in order to glorify God, the best way to do that when you're with your friends or when you're doing your thing or whatever you're doing, the best way to do that is to show Christ's character within you, that His character like shines through you. And when people see you, they're like, "Huh, there's something different about that person. I want to know what's different about that person, why that person's like that," and that will glorify God.
So true.
And I think that kind of also leads into service, because when people come to you, they're going to be like, huh, why are you like that? And then you just be like, hey, let me do this for you. And then they'll be like, why are you like that? And then you'll be like, hey, Jesus.
Amen.
So
true.
But yeah.
So the next thing we're going to be talking about is why do we need a purpose? You guys are probably thinking, that's really cool, but I'm like really bored right now. So we did something fun, and we decided to ask the people around us what they thought a purpose meant and what they thought they were here for. And so you are going to see that right now somewhere.
Let's take a look.
Yeah.
I believe that our initial purpose was to be a companion for God.
To try to thrive, to overrule somebody else, I guess. Overrule maybe not be the right answer.
But unfortunately, humans fell. So now I believe our purpose on the earth is to save other humans.
To make a difference.
Genuinely just
to show people the love of God and to point them to Him through our lives.
You got to keep up with the Joneses and the Smiths, because you can't let either one of those guys get in front of you, because otherwise you'll look like.
Our purpose is to be like Christ and to spread His message through the world.
I think our purpose as human beings on this earth is to eat, grow.
The reason we're here on this earth is to take care of the animals and to make sure that we are, treating them correctly and to treat each other correctly.
Have fun, play, take a shower or something, I don't know.
So that was pretty interesting. I mean, there's
Really interesting.
pretty interesting comments that we heard from random people. But anyways, moving on into this whole realm of purpose. Why exactly do we need purpose? Because it's obviously an important aspect to our life. So why do we need it? What is the purpose of having a purpose? You know what I'm saying?
Purpose. It's kind of like a big word, kind of a scary word, especially if you are at a point in your life where you need to make decisions. Like me.
And me.
And us.
No, okay, not you.
So I'm cool.
Elijah doesn't have to make big decisions.
I mean, I just had to wake up.
He doesn't okay. But most normal people have to make decisions, and having a purpose helps you to be able to make the decision. So that's like reason one for having a purpose. And a lot of my friends really struggle with this because they're having to switch majors all the time, and when they are they're in and out of like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. What am I even
It's
here
hard.
for? And I'll see this in the area of suicide. You start hearing about suicide more and more, and I've had friends that have committed suicide, and it's really a sad thing. And I just looked it up in the stats, and suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 to 24. Suicide is the third leading cause of death for college-age youth and ages 12 to 18. And more teenagers and young adults die from suicide than from cancer, heart disease, AIDS, birth defect, stroke, pneumonia, influenza, and chronic lung disease combined.
Wow.
So
That's terrible.
suicide is real, and it's not just for teenagers. We're seeing like 10-year-olds that are committing suicide.
That is so true, because I mean, you often look at these children and youth and you say, why on earth would they commit suicide? It makes sense that purpose would be their biggest thing, because oftentimes when they're at that lowest point, they would think, why am I here? Why do I need to be here? Obviously, I have no reason to be here. That's why I'm going to take my life. So that is a really true and profound stats there.
So you might ask, like, what's the big deal about having a purpose? Well, I want to bring up an example. Joseph, in the Bible, you can find the story in Genesis 37, 23 through 28. But if you think with this situation, he came from his home in Canaan, and he was shipped off to Egypt as a slave. And that was like a huge, huge deal. It's kind of like you being shipped off to high school or college away from home, but except of you being a student, you're a slave. That's
Scary.
huge and scary. So what did he do? Because as you know from reading the story, he did amazing things for God. So what was able to help him do this? It says here, it was his purpose that the believer in God should appear in marked contrast to the worshippers of idols. Thus the light of heavenly grace might shine forth amid the darkness of heathenism.
Wow.
So Joseph had a purpose, and he instituted that in his life, and he was able to do amazing things. Same thing for us. If you want to do amazing things for God, find a purpose and make it real. Maybe put it up on your desk, put it on your wall, put it in front of your bathroom mirror. Remind yourself every day, this is what I'm here for, and this is the mission that I've taken upon myself to do and to help others, or whatever it may be. And really, you'll find yourself, I think, a lot happier, and you'll enjoy life and those types of things.
I think that's really important, to visualize your purpose, to like make it real to you, and remind yourself of that purpose all the time. Because like for example, the suicide business, that usually happens when people lose sight of their purpose.
Yeah.
So if you just remember your purpose and you visualize your purpose and you make it real, I think that is such an important thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just, for those that don't know how can you find a purpose? How do you find a purpose? How do you keep a purpose once you find it? And once you find it, how do you,
That is an awesome question, because actually, have you guys ever asked yourself that question? I know I have. And normally I get so many purposes. It's kind of overwhelming. So I just encourage you guys, if you're trying to find what your purpose is, it's really, really important to get one main thing.
Sorry
Go
to
ahead,
interject, but even if it is like maybe not your purpose for the rest of your life, but take some time to think about the purpose. But if you, like, your purpose could be, I need to find a purpose. That could be your purpose. And purposes can change. So don't, like, one purpose or a purpose is better than no purpose.
That's true.
And so don't be afraid to have, like, oh, I need to have this purpose that's going to be my purpose for the rest of my life. Don't be afraid by that. Make a purpose. Maybe it's, I want to get like all A's in school this semester, and that can be your purpose. And or think about maybe a grander scheme of things, like maybe I want to convert one of my friends this year, or whatever. Think about a purpose, and maybe have like a overarching large purpose, but then you can have smaller purposes underneath that helps you focus more on a day-to-day thing.
Yeah. I like what you're saying about, like, you're kind of saying focus on short-term purposes or goals that add up to your main purpose. It's because sometimes I'm one kind of person that I like to see the whole picture before I focus on the small stuff. It's not my thing. But if you struggle with that, the best thing to do is to realize that you have to let God take control of that part. Our purpose only comes from God. And you have to be willing to realize that your purpose might not be the same as God's purpose.
Totally.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So going back to purpose and finding it, I'm going to talk more about what Nathan was ending with, finding your main purpose in life, because he's absolutely right. It's really good to have little goals that add up to your main purpose. But I want to say that if you're trying to think of your main life purpose, just one, like maybe serving God or always putting God first or winning souls, like he was saying, it's really important to choose something that isn't affected by circumstances. So don't get your little goals confused with your purpose. So if your main purpose is just to get perfect grades, you're going to be a really disappointed person. Like, have you guys ever experienced this? I know I have. I've had crazy, unrealistic purposes in life. If your purpose is to be perfect, you're going to get really tired, because one day when you're not perfect, you'll feel like a failure. But if your purpose is to come close to God every day, you can't be, because you can never fail at that. There's a really famous guy named Keith Yamashita. He's a Japanese, I believe, and he works for CNN. And he helps businesses find their purpose, because we always see super successful businesses and we're like, how did they do it? Like, how did they become so successful? And what he does is he asks the CEO of the business, what does the world really need? Like, what does it suffer a lack of? What can we do to fill it? And I think this is super applicable to us as Christians, because the world needs God's love. So a really great purpose is to share God's love with the world, and that helped me think a lot.
Yeah, that is our purpose. That is our main focus as Christians, as Christian young people, is to just show the world God and to hasten His second coming.
Totally.
Like I said before, he says Christ commissioned us 2,000 years ago, and that commission is still valid. It's still our focus. But yeah, you guys helped out a lot.
So, as you know, we're part of this team called Audax, and it's not just Elijah and the people here, but really it's the young people that have a purpose to serve God and to show that there is a God that cares about everyone in this world, not just those that are Christians and who may pay attention to God, but even the ones that shun Him. He really cares about everyone. So if you want to get involved in this project and in this mission, and you want to talk with other young people, we have a website called theaudax.com, and if you click on this link right here, it should be down here in this area right here, you will be referred to a website that's all about this mission and this goal, and you will find more information about Elijah, Vanessa, and I. And you can also like us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram
and all that cool stuff.
Yeah, because
But
we're cool.
Yeah, because we are
With
cool.
Jesus.
Oh, Lord help us. Anyways, but yeah, we also need your support. So we ask that you share this with your friends, and if we helped you in any way, just comment or send us something to say that, hey, this helped us out. But yeah, we really enjoyed this, and we plan on making more videos, more content for you guys. So. Coming soon to a website near you. But yeah, that's about it. I'm cool. But anyways, thank you for watching.